Bella, come back this way. Come on. Hey folks, Deb here. I'm out at Piney Grove by myself today. I brought Bella to run and see the folks. I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks because I was under the weather and I didn't want to risk giving them whatever creeping crud I had that I think was a gift from my 3-year-old grandson. Speaking of the folks, I think I'm going to try to get them on camera today. Now, we respect their privacy and they may not want to do it, and that's fine. Pop is a character. And I really love to get some insights from Pop. He's 84 years old. He's had a lot of things in his life, and I'd like to get some words of wisdom from him. So maybe we'll get him to talk about things that he's learned or hasn't learned. Bella, come. Sorry. And, oh, there she is, coming up behind me. And maybe even some stories from when Brad was a kid. We'll see. That's my goal, at least. So stay tuned. We'll see if that works.
Our folks are poor. They were immigrants, and there was no welfare. If somebody got sick, they helped out, whether it was family, or church member, whatever. Mm-hmm. They cooked for them, took care of them and all. If they needed money, if somebody could afford it, it would help them. He grew up in Poland. My mother did too. When the communists started taking over, they took everything away from them. Then they were working for the communists, for the government. So they grew potatoes. The government would allow them a certain amount of potatoes to keep to live on. They'd take the rest. And that's what he left. So he knew coming here, he would never have to do that. Back as long as I can remember, from the time I guess we could walk, I remember my sisters, we had 3 chicken houses, bucket of water for the chickens to drink, that froze, so you got to go down and break the ice, dump it out, carry it out, fill it with water, put it back in again, and then either one of the other sisters or I would have to go down and pick the eggs up. We had a rooster that would fly up in your face that I used to have to take a bushel basket with me in a chicken house along with the egg basket. And when the rooster came out, I'd take the bushel basket and flip it over on top of him.
So you catch the rooster in the basket so you could grab the eggs?
I'd trap them under the basket, and I'd go in all in the nest box, pick the eggs up. I'd set them outside the chicken house door, and I'd go in and I'd grab that basket and pull it off the rooster and take it with me and shut the door behind me. I mean, that was pretty much everyday occurrence. We had a goose that would chase you. He actually knocked me down when I was a little guy, like maybe 3 years old or something, because I was picking up eggs then. He knocked me down. I broke all the eggs, and my mother heard me hollering, and he was on top of me, beating me with his wings, and she came running out there and pulled him off of me.
Oh, my goodness.
And he was a nasty goose. We had to work. We had three duck houses. We had the breeder house, the cold brooder, and the hot brooder. Different times we had to do different things. If it was shovel snow, between all the duck buildings, probably 1,000 feet of snow we had to shovel past through because the ducks had to eat, regardless we had 4 foot of snow or 1 inch. All the animals had to eat. They still ate, so you had to feed them.
Right.
So therefore, all the kids were out there, and the school was closed. They stayed there all day. Come in, got alongside them coal furnaces and warmed our hands and dried off a little bit, went back out. But anytime after school, before school, if the farm work was done, we had 2 potato houses across the street. They hired me to open the doors in the morning, close them at night, gave me 50 cents a week.
50 cents a week?
Which I would go and buy 2 comic books. I couldn't wait for the Donald Duck comic book to come out. Usually the people came in to load the trucks and grade the potatoes would drink soda. So I'd pick up the soda bottles. They were worth 2 cents a piece. I'd bring them home with me. So when I went to town, I could sell them off and get some money. A lot of kids didn't care nothing. They'd buy a soda in town. They'd just throw the bottle in the trash. Man, I'd grab that because they're deposit bottles, 2 cents.
Exactly.
And it adds up. They packed potatoes out all went along. If they were grading potatoes, they had a job for you. If we loaded a semi tractor trailer, we might have got 25 cents.
Hey, that's half a week's worth of
That's
salary.
the only source. That's pocket money. We never had, Pop and Mom couldn't give us any money. What do you need money for? We had clothes on our back. We had food. What do you need money for? One day, I really lucked out because there was a lot of snow, and one of the farms had a little hill going up that they loaded the trucks backed up to the building. They went in a big circle and they came up to the road we lived on, and there was a hill there. This one time, there was snow and ice, and the trucks got to that hill, they couldn't get up the hill. And we had, down the farm, we had a little crawler tractor, a little small bulldozer. So I got a hustle. I went over there and said, hey, this is what's it worth to you to get pulled up the hill? Because a tractor wouldn't do it. It just, tires would slide on I could hustle him for maybe $1, $1.50 maybe, if he really needed to get up that hill. We got the bulldozer because we had a bad snowstorm. Down the farm, we mixed our own duck feed, had a big, big mixer. It was on a raised platform in the feed house. You brought over the alfalfa meal, you brought over the soybean meal, you brought over fish oil, or cod liver oil. And you mixed it in this great big mixer that was about this high as you stood up on a raised platform. You threw it in there and these blades would turn. Had a big 2-inch water pipe coming down. You opened the valve to wet it. Down below that, there was a track, a little miniature railroad track. The little wheels on a feed, 4-wheel feed cart. It was a bin. You had that there, you go down, you shut the mixer off, you go to the big handle, you pull down, and the mixer tipped over into the cart. You knew just how much to mix to fill that cart, because it's hard to push. It was probably 300, 400 pounds of wet food in it. So you tip it back up, then you push the cart down these tracks, had a little turntable, we turned around to go to the cold brooder down that way or the hot brooder that way. So when it snowed, you was helpless. We had to carry that feed, buckets, plus shovel a path out so you didn't have to walk in the snow when it's waist deep. The farm below us was a duck farm. They closed up, just left everything, just closed up. I knew they had this little bulldozer they just bought. So I said something to my father. I said, look, we could use that little dozer. I said, we could push this snow out. I said, we could save a lot of time, maybe save a lot of ducks. You could push a path to the water where they get down to drink and stuff. So I went over to the neighbor. He was a mechanic. He had a record and stuff, Bubby Williams. I said, Bubby, I said, you think that bulldozer would run? He says, yeah. He said, they put it in there, shut it off. I said, well, I went in there and I said, the battery's dead and I can't turn hold the fan belt tight. I can't turn it like the engine's stuck. He says, it's probably real thick oil in there this wintertime. I had Pop call the owner and ask him what he'd sell it for. And he said, well, I don't need it anymore. I think it was $300. Unbelievable.
Oh, goodness.
Really. Grater blade, had forks for manure, and it had a dump bucket. So you go over there, tries to jump it with a big battery, it wouldn't even turn over. And it sat in a building with a wood floor. And I stared, Bubby, I said, any kind of way that you heat it up with the electric welder or something? He says, no, but let's build a little fire under it. So we did. We got some straw and stuff, and we made a little pile with some leaves, and we lit it just enough heat under the oil pan to get the oil hot or warm to thin out. He jumped it, he got it started. I took it home. I went down, plowed paths out all around so we could get to all the buildings.
Oh, wow.
Put the bucket, took the blade off, put the bucket on, and put the mixed feed, which was wet, frozen already, in the bucket and carried around. We opened the windows of the duck houses and we'd go inside. I had a big wide, like a snow shovel, shovel it in, dump it in, let the ducks eat. I probably saved a good many ducks from starving to death.
And did you use it to, is that what you used to pull people out when they couldn't get up the hill?
Yes, that's what it gets back to. See, I had that little ace in the hole. So I just walk over nonchalantly. And yeah, you want to get up the hill. What's it worth to you?
What's the most you ever made?
It may be $1. It might have been $1.50. I don't think you couldn't squeeze it for so much. I mean, money was tight in them days.
Oh, no, I know. That's why I'm asking.
My God, $1 to us was, oh man.
Oh, yeah.
We was filthy rich.
Yes, you were.
But
well, your experience has made you rich anyway.
Yeah, we worked and we loved it.
You did love it.
Yeah.
So you grew up loving it.
Yeah,
you didn't ever resent it, or you
Nope.
didn't ever That's awesome. Well, as you can tell, the apple did not fall far from the tree with Brad and his dad. So hopefully you enjoyed that little tidbit with Brad's dad. Little pop talk is what I think we'll call that. I hope to get him on camera periodically because he's very interesting and he's full of stories. So I'm going to continue to run Bella. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.